Internet is psychologically destroying the modern female brain and how it works. What am I talking about? So many things. I'm a female. I can see what's happening firsthand. I am aware of it, and sometimes I still fall short and fall into the trap of the modern society. What am I talking about? Well, let me start with the false oppression that is being said to become upon all women for daily struggles like motherhood, being a wife, being a girlfriend, loneliness, hard work, etc. These things are now being labeled oppression. People on social media or on the internet are talking about things like motherhood as if they are oppressive, like raising your child is an oppression against you. This is insane to me. This is insane to me. There are moms out there and there are women out there that don't even have kids that talk about having kids like it is some sort of burden on their life. Now, don't get me wrong, raising children is hard. Like I said in my last video, it's not supposed to be easy. It was never supposed to be easy. But there's this thing called sacrifice that many modern day people don't understand the concept of, or they're just too selfish and distracted to even care about the concept of the word selfishness. But when you have children, yourself in a way dies, and your old self should die. You shouldn't still be the same person you were pre-kids that you are when you have children, because you should be bettering yourself constantly as an example for those children. But women, especially women, and I'm a woman, so I'm allowed to talk about this, don't want to do the hard work to change themselves. A lot of women are comfortable in the way that they are, and they don't want to put in the work and make the changes to be a better version of themselves, especially young women and young moms. But now I'm seeing even 30-year-old women and onwards acting like teenagers, and they just don't want to die to their old self and become that new version. And like I said, I understand. I'm not talking from a place of inexperience on this topic. I really understand this one. So yeah, that's an example. Is just they are painting motherhood, and I mean the internet is painting motherhood as a form of oppression, and even being a wife as a form of oppression. There's so many videos online talking about, oh, I'm not going to cook my husband some food, or I'm not going to clean the house. We're going to do, like, split the jobs. Or he's going to do his own stuff and I'm going to do my own stuff. Why are you even in a relationship then? You should only be in a relationship if you're ready to serve the other person. You should want to serve the other person. If you don't, then don't be in a relationship. You should be single because you're self-serving and selfish. That's exactly what it is. And I'm talking to women here. I'm not a man. I can't speak on men's topics. I can speak briefly on them from my knowledge of and observing of problems in the men community, but I'm not a man. I am a woman, and I've definitely seen firsthand and heard and had conversations with other women that have led me here to this video today that I'm making, because it's enough. Just because you're a woman doesn't give you a free pass to act like everyone should come save you and come serve you. Now, yes, I do believe that women should be served in a way that's different from the way that we are supposed to serve a man. But we are still supposed to serve the man. It doesn't matter, like, what you believe. You are made to serve a man in some type of way. You're not made to be single. It's not oppressive to be in a relationship. It's not oppressive to be a mother. I'm speaking in general terms here. We all know there's abusive relationships. We all know there's confusing situations with children. I'm speaking in general terms here for those of you that this might go over your head. I'm speaking in general terms. Anyone that has an intellectual brain will understand that when I'm speaking about any topic, I'm not speaking in total, I'm speaking in general terms. So that's number one. And number two kind of is that motherhood is not oppression, and being a wife or a girlfriend is not oppression either. Serving your household is not oppression. But the internet pushes that idea. And do you know why they push that idea? You probably know if you're watching this video, but I'm going to say it anyway because maybe there's somebody who doesn't. The reason this idea is pushed and trendy, and it's probably on your feed all the time, is because they want the man and the woman to compete. They want the woman to be masculine. They want this. Why do they want this? They want this so that the family unit can fall apart. So there could not even be a chance for a family unit to begin. Because what is stronger than anything? A strong family with morals. Take the woman out of the household, take the woman's mind out of serving her family and her husband and her children, what do you end up with? A broken family. And what happens to a broken family? The broken family gets raised by the system, so on and so forth. The system creates more slaves, and they continue to serve the system. There's so many issues here. It's hard to find a topic to talk about and stick on in this category, but honestly, I made a video about iPad kids. That was my last video, and someone made a great comment actually, talking about how when cell phones were being introduced, it was mainly the woman that pushed it first, and the man was kind of against it. But the woman who was going to work wanted her children to have cell phones in the home because she felt like it was more safe and it was more stable. And I do actually see that, how that could have happened. I'm not sure, I didn't do too much research into that, but I thought that was a really interesting comment from that person because I never thought about it that way. But it makes total sense. Because why? Because women are controlled by fear. So if you can get a woman out of the home into the workforce, send the kids out to school, husband's working too, you know, 2 providers, 2 masculine figures, but one of them is emotional. And I'm sorry, ladies, but ladies, we are emotional. It's just in our nature. We will always be more emotional than a man. No matter what. We will always be more emotional than a man. And what is an emotional person prone to? An emotional person is prone to fear. And what does fear do? Fear controls. If you can make someone fearful, you can then control them because you can offer a solution. And even though that solution might be crazy, in the moment of fear, it sounds kind of sane. So it kind of made sense in that comment, talking about how the woman was the one who thought the cell phone was a good idea to give to the children at home, or whatever it may be, like the home phone, whatever it was. It makes total sense because 2020, probably the majority of households that got the vaccination were influenced into that in the beginning by the woman of the household, because the women are the most fearful. And like I said, how can you control a society if you can't make them fearful? It's so on and so forth, etc., etc. So basically, my idea of bringing that comment up was to say that you can see patterns repeated in history. It's like, I believe in women independence, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do the things that I do that maybe some people in some countries are not able to do. But I believe there is a role and there is an optimal position for us women to be in and to operate in. And I believe that every system has a role, and when you play your role in the system operates more efficiently. So in the family unit, in the household, when you play your role as a woman and you submit to your husband and you let him lead, I believe that the system functions properly. You can let go of the worries of the world. You don't need to be fearful of what's going to happen because your husband has that on his back, and he will carry that for you. Your job should be to support him and to raise your children with the morals that your family has decided are correct for your situation. But what's happening is this whole thing is getting separated completely, and that's why relationships are falling apart. Because here's the woman, here's the man. The man's not really headbutting the woman. The man is continuing to do what the man does. The woman has kind of come up with this freedom and independence and all these ideas of oppression that they have. They want to fight against it. Why? Because we're emotional. And so now they're competing with men, and it's a competition when it was never supposed to be. It was never supposed to be a competition, guys. Like, another thing is entitlement. Entitlement is a huge one, and maybe if you're a lady, you're watching this video, maybe if you know me and you're watching this video, I'm not trying to judge or to put people down in any way in this video. I'm genuinely not. I'm speaking my opinion. I'm speaking my thoughts. I'm not trying to judge people. I'm not trying to put you down because I am not perfect. I have never been perfect. I have made mistakes. I continue to make mistakes. I'm learning. I'm not better than anybody. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not trying to sound holier than thou. I'm not. Maybe you guys even think I'm sounding like a pick-me. That's okay if you think that. I'm genuinely just speaking my thoughts here. So let's get to the point. I personally know dozens of people, of girls, who will literally text back guys just to get a free dinner date. Like, I know maybe you've heard that before on social media, but I am a normal person, normal, average, everyday person, and this is something everyday, average girls do. I myself have never done this. You don't have to believe me. You do. I'm not here to prove myself. I'm having a conversation to the camera. a one-way conversation. This is insane to me. I have known so many friends of the past to do this, or people will, like, people that smoke weed and stuff like that, they will purposely just text a guy to go get free, and that they'll leave. They're not doing it for anything else. And, you know, I feel like this has probably been happening forever, since the beginning of time. Like, women know their power and stuff like that. Regardless, I'm just saying that that mindset alone is so harmful, because the more and more you do things like that, the more and more you, like, devalue your mindset. You devalue yourself. Like, you don't have standards. You'll just trade your time for that, and it's not really for anything. It's just for free stuff. The whole point I'm even bringing this up is to say that social media has really gassed our heads. Social media has both ways also. It's not just in the way of to us females, also men in a different way. But it's almost like connections can't even be made, because the second that a woman, I'm not sure about men because I'm not a man, but the second that a woman gets bored, she just texts the next guy. Like, there's no chance for that bond to really happen. There's no chance for deeper conversations, because typically the woman doesn't want it. And I'm telling you this because I know I've seen this happen time and time again in front of my face with people that I've known. They're kind of just in an on to the next mentality. And like I said, social media has really allowed this to happen, because there's seemingly to be unlimited options. Like, if this guy doesn't respond, or if this guy's boring, or it doesn't work out, whatever it may be, I can just text the next guy, and then the next guy, and the next guy. It's just a degenerative mindset, and it's happening so fast. And I'm watching this happen to girls not even in high school yet. Like, they're on Snapchat texting so many different guys. It's a problem, because by the time they become a full-grown woman, they're so desensitized, and in a sense, I believe that their soul is so broken in a way that they will not be able to form a bond with a man, a genuine bond. They won't want to. The really good point I want to make is that I believe modern day women are really convinced, or they really believe, that fulfillment comes from attention, validation, and material things. Don't get me wrong, like, even me, I'm, again, not trying to sound better than anybody. I have my struggles too. Attention feels good. It doesn't feel bad. It feels good. It's like a drug in a way. I mean, attention is currency. So, you know, attention feels good. Getting nice things feels good. But the problem is that we have a society of women that are so obsessed with getting things, getting attention, getting validation for fulfillment, and they're seeking fulfillment in a place that it will never end. They will continue to seek these things. So what it's happening is it's halting the possibility of a genuine fulfillment, if that makes sense. There's always going to be seeking for something else, continuing to want for more, because they're not looking for the real things that actually fulfill. But instead, I see a lot of women, it's just like this chase for attention and validation from strangers on the internet. There's no work in real life. It's all a show, which I really believe it stunts brain growth. I genuinely believe that, because sometimes I'll go out in public, you know, going out on a date with my husband, and we'll just people watch. And I do this alone sometimes too. But you can just hear the conversations of young women with guys, or even amongst one another. And literally their conversations are just about Instagram likes, Instagram follows, you know, this girl wearing these clothes, this girl doing this, did you hear about this, it's literally nothing of substance at all whatsoever. There's not one conversation of substance in their conversation. There's no learning, there's no knowledge, there's nothing. It's like a big waste of time. Even out here, you know, women and guys going on dates. And I'm not trying to make this video just to hate on women. Like I said in the beginning, I am a woman, so I can't really talk about men as in depth as I can about women, because I'm not a dude. Anyways, I'll hear these people on dates, and there's no conversation. There's nothing interesting being said. A lot of the times from either side, but a lot of the times it's mainly like the woman is just like, oh, really? Like, wow. Or like some generic thing that every girl says. It's just wrong. We live in such a self-centered society, and we make ourselves the gods of our own world. When it's good to love yourself, and it's good to, I don't know, not be putting yourself down and things like that, but it's just that there's too much of a magnifying glass on ourselves. We're always looking inward, especially women. We're always looking about me, not how can I give back, how can I help my husband, how can I raise my kids better. It's always kind of like a selfish mindset, especially in the women my age that I notice. It's kind of sad. It really is sad. I wasn't around to see the womanhood friendships or relationships of even just 50 years ago, but I have experience with friendships in this generation, and I can say that it is not easy. And I'm not saying it's easy to have friends as a guy. I'm sure you guys deal with, being the outcast, loneliness, these things. But as a woman, guys, it is difficult. It is so difficult to meet other women that I can genuinely be friends with. Because this new world, I believe the internet has shaped the minds of the women living amongst us, living amongst me. And every woman, it seems like almost every woman my age is always silently competing with one another. Like, all the time. I'm gonna say 97% of the time, it's not a genuine female friendship. That's a high number, that's a high percentage, but I'm genuinely serious. Like, you could have the best friend of your life for a year, 2 years, and then it will all end over something so stupid. And this has happened to me a few times, so I have personal experience with this. I genuinely, when I'm in a friendship, try to be the best friend I can, because I value human connection, human relationship, and I understand that it's rare. I remember growing up, I saw so many times as a teenager, these girls would be best friends, and then one girl, like her friend, would go be with her boyfriend, or like text him behind her back, or I don't know, talk trash about her to some other random girls. I saw this all the time. This was the most normal thing as a girl growing up in high school, even young adulthood. I'm still a young adult, but early young adulthood. And I always remember, even though I wasn't perfect back then, I made plenty of mistakes in other categories. But in terms of friendship, I thought all the time that was insane. Like, what sane human being could do that to their friend if that was really their friend? And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. I mean that with everything in me. I couldn't comprehend doing that to someone if they were my friend, but that's how much I value my friendships. And I always thought that there was like something wrong with these people, and there is something wrong with them. But it took me until now to realize that's the normal, that's the medium of the society. Like, that is the average of the society. That's normal. That's what everyone does. And that's insane to me. That is literally crazy. To this day, there's some girls that, like, our friendship ended in a way that wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, and I'm still don't even really understand it, because I think that ending relationships is stupid unless there's a real reason for it, not something like artificial or superficial. But women, they're mainly artificial and superficial in this world anyways. But there's still girls to this day that, in my opinion, were wrong in situations towards me, but if I saw them and they needed help on the side of the street, I would stop without a second thought to help them, because I cared about that person. And just because something ended, it doesn't mean that I don't care about them anymore. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's normal, and that's how a human relationship is supposed to be. But on the reverse side, most girls don't think that way. If they think that there's a wrong look one day their friend gave them, they will literally cut you out of their life like you were nothing. That is how female friendship works. That is what I've observed. That is what I've been through. It's insane. You have to walk on eggshells about everything, because if you don't, the girl will go home and get in her feelings and start thinking and assuming and making it worse in her head, and then there'll be a whole drama out of nothing. It's exhausting trying to make friends as a girl. It's exhausting. And then on top of that, most women don't have anything of value or substance to talk about. So sometimes I genuinely believe it's better off to be alone right now and not waste the time playing a game. I don't want to go be fake to make friends. I don't want to pretend to care about things that I don't care about. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to be interested in topics that, are different to me or aren't my main source of interest, but I'm talking about the superficial conversations that are so common in female friendships. It looks fun as a girl sitting at home on Instagram watching people's stories of these groups of girls going out, having fun, doing typical things. I'm not gonna lie, I experience FOMO a lot of the times, but then I remember it's not worth it. Like, if I were there in that room, because I've been in those rooms before, that's how I've gotten to this point in my life, but if I was there, I would be suffering the whole time, because I would either, number one, be being quiet and pretty sure that the girls are going to talk about me when I leave because they're going to think that I was being weird or whatever it may be, or I'm going to be playing a fake game the whole time, trying to be someone that I'm not just to fit in, and I'll probably end up looking crazy anyway because I'm not that person, and it's really hard for me to fake it. Like, I can't fake it. Marshall McLuhan wrote the book The Medium is the Message, basically meaning that technology itself changes human behavior, and I believe we're watching that happen in real time. The degradation of human minds and the minds of modern day females is really showing in every category: womanhood, motherhood, wifehood, friendship, general day-to-day things. You can really see how much the female brain has been rewired just through the way that they act, react, engage in relationships, etc. And I'll say that it takes a lot of work to fight against the propaganda being pushed onto the brains of us women, but it's possible. As long as you're aware and you're conscious and you can kind of open your eyes up to the theatrics that is being a woman in this modern day world, you can stop it and you can leave that, and you might be lonely, but you'll be a lot more peaceful and authentic, and I believe that that is what lets genuine relationships come to you. And yeah.